My name is Bossman. As you can see, I am a VTuber. I stream typically from Saturdays to Wednesdays, but with some days off, sometimes depending on current life situation. I usually stream playthroughs, but sometimes I do Warframe carries.
Hello, welcome in everyone. I'm Watch Holly. This is BossmanVT. We're going to talk about offline growth and how do you grow your stream when you're not streaming. But first, Sal, go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Sal Bossman. I stream from Saturdays from Saturdays to Wednesdays. Typically, I would stream playing through story games, but sometimes I do Warframe carries or games of that sort.
Nice, perfect. And how do you grow when you're not streaming? Is it social media or just what's your kind of strategy?
All right, so the strategy that worked for me is through using those text-based social medias such as Blue Sky or Twitter, mostly Twitter, because a lot of my own community has come through essentially mutuals of mutuals, and a lot of my own regulars are essentially that. So basically, I get collabs through either of those apps that I've mentioned, and a lot of the people that I've met are through Twitter and through like mutual acquaintances.
Yeah.
A lot of my own viewers are the same thing.
Nice. Okay, no, it makes sense. And do you post on social media? And if you do, what's your content pipeline? How do you repurpose your Twitch VODs into moments that you can capture?
Essentially, what I would do is whenever I stream and find a moment that is actually worthy of being edited, I would essentially use it and put on a stream highlight, right? And I would send that to one of the 3 editors that I have on hand, essentially that I contact. By the way, shout out to my editors.
Yeah.
We love our editors. We love editors in this house. And I would send it to them, and they would edit it for me, essentially. And
Wow.
of course, I compensate them properly.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so great to be able to hire an editor because it takes so long to do that.
Oh, you wouldn't believe it.
Right? Oh, trust me, I believe. So when you do send to your editor, how often do you do that and how often do you post?
Essentially, I keep it a habit to at least have 1 clip per stream. Although I do fail sometimes where it was like where I wouldn't get a single clip out of a stream, but other times I would get like multiple clips. And I would, like one stream, I had like 5 different edited clips.
Nice.
And it was like this one collab that I had with another streamer. It was really fun. Some of my best performing content was from that very collab. We're gonna talk about that later.
Okay, nice. So when you get that content, do you post it on like TikTok or Instagram? Like where do you post it and how often?
All right. Well, whenever I get that content ready to be posted, I would essentially go multi-platform on that one. I would post it on TikTok, on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, friggin' Twitter Reels, Instagram Reels, or whatever they're called.
Yeah, Twitter and then Instagram.
Yeah, that one.
Nice. Okay, great.
I'll basically go all of the above.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, why not? So what's your best performing piece of content and why do you think it worked?
One of my best pieces of content that I've had is a certain short that I've had from that very collab, where it's not so much as the quality of the edit itself as much as it is the moment of the stream. That is one thing that actually makes those clips stand apart from pretty much a lot of the clips that I've seen, is that they focus on the spectacle rather than the meat of the content, so to speak. Like the content in and of itself, if that makes sense. Like you can have all the flashy editing in the world, but if the clip in and of itself is dull, it'll just be dull. It's like a polished turd, if so to speak. Pardon my French.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that is my best piece of content because well, it's as I said, it's about the meat of the video itself.
Definitely.
I also have a bunch of reactions that also adhere to that thing, to the fact that it's not about the quality and the polish of the editing itself as so much as the content of the video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. And so instead of posting on socials and Twitter and things like that, what are other things that you do to grow while you're not streaming?
One of the best ways that I have found to essentially not so much grow, so much it is cultivate and basically get a connection with my community is Discord activity. Having my own Discord server where I interact with my community and see what they're into and understand what they want has helped me a ton with the insight of, well, my own community. Like, for example, when I said that I would stream Warframe carries or playthroughs, a lot of my own community is focused on that kind of thing. A lot of my own game recommendations came from my Discord. Another thing that I found that my community really likes is, well, so much as much as it pains me to say it, gacha games, because, of course. Which makes sense for the content that I make, because a lot of the things that I do are essentially live service, as I said, with Warframe carries and stuff like that.
Definitely. And when you...
So I would...
Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and basically, what I mean is, the best thing that I have found that works for me is interacting more with my community, whether even if outside of Discord, through my Twitter, for example. Anyways, you were saying?
No, that's perfect. I was just gonna ask you, when you do ask your editor to post on social media, do they create a hook at all in the videos? Do they rearrange it so the kind of like the best moment is at the front?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I essentially have the hook of not just the clips in and of themselves, but whenever someone comes to my stream, I would essentially ask them a question out of left field. Like, let me give you an example. One stream I had, this new viewer came in, said hi, and before that, like a few hours ago, we were reacting to It Was Sunny It's Always Sunny, right? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I was reacting to that, and one bit in it was talking about putting pineapples in hamburgers. And basically, that new viewer came in, and I would ask them, what are your thoughts on pineapples on hamburgers? And of course, that made them stay through for like a few hours, just from the vibe I believe they got from them staying, and the fact that they got hooked by such a, well, out of left field question, so to speak.
Definitely.
So what I mean is, as I've alluded to before, it's not about the flashiness as much as about the meat of the content.
Yes.
It's about the moment itself, you know?
Definitely. And how do you analyze your content once you do post it, like on TikTok or Reels or things like that? Or do you not do that?
Essentially, I would look at community sentiment much more than numbers, because you could have the most viewed thing in the world, but a lot of the times those clicks could be hate clicks, could be rage bait. So I would instead look at community sentiment rather than numbers in and of themselves, as valuable as numbers are, of course. Like view count, follow increases, and stuff like that. But I prioritize like what the people who saw it feel about it. If that makes sense.
No, definitely. Yeah. And do you follow trends at all, or use any of like the TikTok sounds that are trending?
It depends on who's editing, essentially. A lot, like one edit that I've had did use meme sound effects, but it's not like the trendy ones. It just uses the
sound effect board.
I want to say not sound effect board, but the ones that are kind of evergreen. to like the whoa sound effect or the yes 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 me from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, that kind of thing.
Okay, nice. And then my last question is, do you have any advice for any other Twitch streamers that are trying to get into short form content?
Yes, and it's basically I want to reiterate for like I would reiterate this until I stop breathing. Focus on the moment more than what you can make out of it. Like, you could have the most well-edited thing in the world, but if the moment in and of itself is kind of dull, it'll just be a flashy moment that is dull. It'll look weird and off-putting. But if you make like a nicely edited version of a really well-known and you had a moment you had a ton of fun having, and you make it into an edit, like say for example, you're playing through a story game, and you come across like this massive plot twist. It would make a lot more sense to edit that reaction into a clip than say a moment where you're just mindlessly grinding through a dungeon or something.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Definitely. So you're finding those gems and then polishing them up a little bit with a little bit of editing, but make sure to have that gem.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, perfect. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you much more. It's my first time having this kind of live interview, and it's a really fun experience to just sit down and start thinking about how the gears turn, so to speak.
Definitely. Yeah. It's also nice to be like a little retrospective as well, too. All right. We're going to say goodbye to YouTube, and then I'll say goodbye to you afterwards. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Check out BossmanVT, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, YouTube.
See ya.